Thank you for pressing play. Welcome to the second episode of Looking for Oxnard. We're just warming up, and right now there is no limit to what we can do here. We have a growing list of guests that we plan to have on the show, and that's the idea behind this. Get to know someone and the fascinating things that they do here in Oxnard. A lot of the times you think you know someone just by seeing them in their usual element. Then when you have a sit-down conversation, it blows your mind to learn what else is behind their work, their thoughts, their actions. It's a lot like being in a cafe and meeting the coolest people. And in downtown Oxnard, there's no better place for a caffeine break than Heritage Coffee and Gifts. It is the spot for great coffee or hot chocolate or tea or whatever you're into, and be amongst good people. They're located in historic Heritage Square at 2109 West 7th Street between A and B Streets. Heritage Coffee and Gifts features a cozy atmosphere, perfect for chatting or getting some work done. Make yourself comfortable on the couch. It's a lot like being at home. Check out this family-owned coffee shop, and when you stop in, make sure to say hi to Carlos, Fernando, and Teresa, and tell them that you heard about them right here. Okay, here we go. This is Looking for Oxnard. I'm your host, Luis Güereca. We're coming to you from the heart of Oxnard, just outside of downtown. It's springtime outside. One of the things that people love about living or visiting Oxnard is definitely the weather. And in the past few days, it has been just perfect. So nice. Okay, I'm excited about today's guests. It's a local band by the name of Moonily. That's Moonily. Aside from the fact that this trio of musicians has formed a damn good rock band, I'm also excited because I get to talk to some of the new faces of Oxnard's music scene. Now, Oxnard has a long history of giving birth to great musicians, from the nardcore punk music scene of the early 80s with bands like Dr. No, Ill Repute, Total Resistance, and so many others, to the early 90s hip-hop sounds of Madlib, to the current rap and R&B Grammy Award-winning artist Anderson .Paak, and so many more amazing musicians in between all those years. So much happening here that we all know of, and so much more that is hidden away just waiting to be discovered. In September of last year, in 2019, I was lucky to be part of the organizing team behind the Sight Plus Sound Film Festival at the Oxnard Performing Arts Center, the PAC. We had live music at the end of every night. All local Oxnard bands like Serotonin, Cardo, Los Retros, Omega Nova, and Las Criaturas. And Moonily was also one of the bands that played. Never heard of them prior to that, and when they showed up for their set, it was moving. Sounded so good. So Moonily, the band, came into our studio space. It was my first interview for the podcast. I was nervous. I'd spent a good amount of time prepping the space, getting mics in place for all three of them. All the gear was checked and double-checked, then triple-checked. Though I still made a few mistakes, but hopefully you won't notice them. And at the end, I had a blast. They are real rock musicians on the precipice of launching their music career with their first album on the way. Here's the interview. Nicknames. Do you have nicknames in the band? Does anybody, I know you just told me what your names are, but do you go by any other names?
We call Safaa Safaa.
Is that your real name?
It's Safaa. But I guess
we call her Safaa in the band, but yeah. Safaa, like Safari, is her name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We call Mars Mariah because she acts like a Mariah sometimes.
like
Totally
like Mariah.
like a Mariah Carey.
Like Mariah Carey? Are you a Mariah Carey fan?
No,
She's just like a singer.
You kind of mean like,
Yeah.
but not like a huge one.
And then your name?
Alison.
Yeah.
Or
There's a bunch.
Alessandra.
They call me Supreme Bean sometimes to get me mad.
But you're the drummer. You're the drummer.
Mm-hmm.
All of that. Who started the band?
Me.
Mars, you started the band. Yep. How did that come about?
Well, it's always a dream to be in a band of female, but who are also very heavy and are very strong, which they are. They're so strong. Like, nobody can tell them anything. Like, don't tell me that. I already know.
Yeah.
And that's what I need, because I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever you need.
Yeah.
But they're like, nope, don't.
How did you connect with everybody else here?
I joined the band 2 years ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How many years after you started the band? 2, 3?
Probably 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I kind of did my own thing, and then that's when I focused on getting like
Yeah.
some other musicians in on it because it was a solo thing. And my friend Izzy Moranos, who's also from Oxnard, Ventura area, she kind of pushed me to put my music out there, and I was not ready or confident, but she's like, you can do it. And we were at FYF, and I'm listening to all these musicians. I'm like, that'd be so cool to play here one day. I'm like, okay, I'll play for you, or like do a show with you.
And you're from Oxnard.
Yeah.
And the two of you are from the other two?
LA.
LA.
Around there. I guess in Ventura County, but like Thousand Oaks. Not too far.
So where do you rehearse most of the time?
It's all over.
Yeah.
Wherever we can find.
Somebody's
Yeah.
house, somebody's garage?
Yeah. We do sometimes we're at the
Sometimes, yeah.
house.
Mhm.
There's little like hole in the wall rehearsal spots that we can find for a quick hour or so.
Mainly in LA, I think, though. All the rehearsal spots.
Do you play mostly here in Ventura County, or do you spend a lot of time in LA as well?
I would
Or
say
both.
both. Yeah.
Both. We can't stay away from
Ventura.
Oxnard, Ventura
Yeah.
area.
We always
Everyone's
come
so
back.
fun and so nice out here.
Yeah.
So now, Marissa, or do you want to go by Mars?
We'll do Mars.
Either one.
Mars.
Mars,
Oh,
okay. So then you're the one that, it's your demos that are online, right? Because there's all of these pieces of music and stuff that you've created, and you've kind of, I guess, I don't know if you did it in your room, it's just like there's drums or there's whatever, there's like pieces of all this stuff. Is that all of that happened before you formed the band?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, years before. And it was in my bedroom or a small garage, but mostly in my bedroom. Yeah, I would use like 2 like iPhones, like the old ones, and like an iPad to like try to record everything separately. I'd have 2 amps in the room and connect like the bass loop, the guitar looped, and then play drums, and then just try to capture all of that on another iPhone and just, yeah. And then I just posted up on SoundCloud. But even that took me a little while to do that because I couldn't really figure out how to make it sound good online from a phone.
How do you record now as a band? Because I think you have one song online, right?
Yeah.
Which is Land Mermaid. Do I have it right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then have you recorded other songs, or are you in the process of recording others?
Yeah, we're in the process of recording our whole album. Yeah. So we're,
Where do you go for that? Is there a studio? Do you put?
yeah, we have someone that just saw us play and he loved us, so he's recording us, and it's in LA.
We got recorded on 2-inch tape.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really exciting stuff. It's
Yeah.
taking kind of a while to get it rolling, but we're right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's about to be out and about.
Yeah.
Almost done with vocals.
Yeah.
Finally.
And what are your songs about? If somebody were to just ask you, what do you write about?
Oh boy.
Because I know you've described your music as dreamy, and well, other things, but I mean mostly dreamy, right?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
kind of sound. So I mean, what are your songs about for the most part?
Life.
Your life
Experiences.
specifically,
Specifically mine, and yeah, experiences I've had. Yeah.
and do you do all the writing, or do each one of you kind of share equal?
I guess I have, but I've shown Safaa like some written words that I have, and she's like, you should put that in the song. So she kind of like helps me put a song together. Like we have the sound, but I'm like, well, I don't know what to say, or I don't know what to sing. Writer's block.
So everybody helps each other out. So it's equal. It's fine. You don't mind kind of everyone kind of sharing that responsibility.
Yeah, I want us to collaborate as much
Yeah.
as we
Yeah.
can, so we all feel a part of the band rather than like it's only your band. I want it to be all of our band.
Well, it kind of like, it's funny because when I joined the band, it was really like pretty dreamy. I would say, I mean, it definitely had like a grungy feel to it, and it was like it needed to go heavy, like because her lyrics were so like intense, and her voice is so angelic sounding, and it's like you need some heavy shit on that. So sorry.
When you guys play live, how does the crowd react? I mean, do they go along with the dreaminess of it, or do you have a completely different reaction to your music?
Depends on the song. We have like a dancey song. We have heavy songs. The heavy songs, people like to mosh a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I like to get in there too and play guitar.
Yeah, it's so funny.
So we absolutely love that. And some people are, they're just swaying and just feeling it, like just all vibes. And that's also what we love too.
Yeah.
So have any of you been in other bands before?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was in a like post-punk band called Kill Trend, and they were really cool. And then I was in a rock and roll band called The Living Rumors, and then Moonily.
What kind of music were those bands like?
Kill Trend sounds like Nirvana-y, but with like a pop singer. It's just pretty cool. And then the Living Rumors are more like Fleetwood Mac and like Angel Olsen-y type vibes. Yeah.
What about you?
I've been in a band called Bitchcraft, and I would say they're like rock and roll music. I played guitar in that band, but it was cool.
I played drums.
Yeah, she
played
drums
in
for
that
a little
band.
bit too. Yeah.
So you all play different instruments?
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
You switch.
We
We're
can.
hoping
Sometimes.
to.
Yeah.
It will happen.
We have our like preferred instrument, definitely,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
You mentioned the other bands that you were a part of. What are some of the bands that you look up to and the ones that you kind of aspire to be like?
There's so many.
yeah.
Or do you when you play, do you think that you want to sound like these bands, or are you trying to create your own sound?
Yeah, I think we're trying to be as unique as possible,
Yeah.
but we definitely have influences. Mine is Radiohead.
Why Radiohead?
They're just amazing. I mean, every single album is completely different, but so just unique in general.
When you play in LA, do you spend a lot of time talking to other bands and kind of
Yeah.
comparing notes and finding out what everyone else is doing? Like what is that scene like right now
It's
for
crazy.
a band?
Yeah, it is crazy.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's very different than Ventura.
Yeah.
Like how different? What is it?
It's like
Everyone's
more
hungry.
competition.
Everyone wants the good stuff. Everyone wants the right time to play, like,
Yeah.
prime spots, the best venues.
It's kind of who you know.
Yeah,
So it's a lot
Pretty
more
much, yeah.
kind of cutthroat than it is out
Yeah.
here.
totally.
How's it out here? Is it just really relaxed and people maybe don't take it seriously, or they just have a completely different attitude?
Oh, I think they're pretty serious. Everyone out here is super unique too.
Yeah.
In their own way, as we all are. They have so much fun and they give off great vibes. It's crazy.
What is the music scene like here in Ventura County for now? Like is there a good variety, or like if you were to talk to people in LA, what do you tell them about the scene out here?
Some
They're-
folky stuff.
Yeah.
It ranges.
Shoegaze, there's
Shoegaze,
Punk.
Yeah.
there's
reggae.
hip hop. So much. There's so much
Yeah.
out here.
There's always a great crowd. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Like everyone's so supportive of each other, and they all
Mhm.
go to each other's shows, and it's just so
Totally.
awesome.
So
supportive.
everyone knows each other for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
So-
cool.
What the last show that you played? What was that like?
What was our last show?
It's been a while.
It's been
Yeah.
a minute. Oh yeah, the factory. That was cool.
That was a cool show.
It was great.
It was like a Halloween show. Well, it was the day after Halloween, so I think a lot of people were tired.
Yeah.
But it was cool. Like a abandoned building in LA somewhere.
Yeah.
Can't say anything.
What kind of support do you have at home as far as being in a band or family and friends? How do they react to all of that?
Great.
Yeah.
I think all of
Amazing.
us were
We're
very
very lucky.
supportive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything good? Everything
Everything's awesome.
everything's
Yeah.
good there.
They go to the big shows, the Ventura Theater. We played Loud and Queer.
Mm-hmm.
That was so
So
fun.
fun.
All of our family was
Yeah.
there, our
Everyone,
siblings.
Yeah, it was so cool.
Tell me about that event. What was that?
So Loud and Queer is a safe space for like LGBTQ plus, and
Mhm.
and it's they do poetry readings,
Dance,
dancing,
art, anything.
and all art.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so nice.
We were lucky to meet the the woman who puts it together, Monique. She's pretty awesome.
So walk me through just the process of putting a song together. I know you had mentioned, like, again, you had talked about all of these pieces and demos that you have online, but when you're writing a song, how does that start for you?
It's changed, right?
It has changed. The way I used to do it was I would play guitar, would play something that I like, and then I just have like my notebook in front of me with a bunch of different like little poetry writings, and I would kind of just fit it into what I thought would sound and also feel right. Because it's hard to like play guitar and sing at the same time when you don't know what you're doing. Like you still want to add something here and there. I guess it would just be starting with guitar and then vocals and then working off of it.
Does everybody else kind of do the same thing as far as when you come up with an idea for a song?
Yeah, I mean, I send it to them right away.
Yeah. How often do you rehearse as a band?
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
It's
we,
good.
especially if we have gigs, we'll rehearse like crazy.
A couple times, few times a week
Yeah.
sometimes. Right now it's a little low because we're recording, so, but we're getting back into it because we have shows next month.
So now I'm going to go through a list of just bands just to kind of get an idea of what kind of music you listen to. You know, give you, just call out some names here. Justin Bieber. Your thoughts. You can say whatever you want.
He reminds me of my little sisters and their best friends. They were goo-goo for him
Yeah,
back in the days.
Yeah.
back in the days,
Yeah,
yeah.
I wasn't so much of a fan.
No.
No.
me neither, yeah. But
he's
But
sick.
good for him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
Good
sure.
for him.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
no, nothing bad.
Yeah. Okay, Lizzo.
She's cool.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
just listening
She's
to some of
awesome.
her stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know enough, but I think she's cool.
Yeah.
Arcade Fire.
Pretty sick.
I like
Safaa.
Arcade
Definitely.
Fire,
Really?
yeah.
Okay, good. That's
I
one
like
of my favorites.
their, was it the Suburbs album or something?
Yeah.
I'm not good at names, but I like them a lot.
Local band, Serotonin.
Love.
Awesome.
Yes. Okay,
so
good.
good.
Folk
Amazing.
music.
Oh yeah.
Love
Oh,
them.
they'll love that.
And
10
they're
out of
great
10 would
people.
recommend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see. Slater Kenny.
Love.
Super
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Okay.
I saw them once.
Definitely one of my favorites. The Cure. I'm going back a little bit.
Amazing.
So good.
Amazing.
The best.
So far you like all of these bands.
Yeah.
Nothing negative to say about any. Demi Lovato.
I don't,
I'm just throwing out whatever names come to
I
mind.
don't listen to her,
Yeah, not our faves. I don't
Again, my
Yeah.
sisters remind me of my
Yeah.
sister. She
Okay.
reminds me of your sisters.
Okay, that's okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Is there a music scene here in Oxnard? Like, is there? Would you say that there is a good music scene happening here in this city?
Yeah, definitely.
you would know more than me. She's
There's
from
so
Oxnard,
much.
so
There's so much out here, like the nardcore scene. And that's one that I go to their shows a lot in high school.
you would throw shows at your house.
I threw a couple shows at my house. It was so crazy. Cola Boy played there with his band.
At your house?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like
Wow.
years ago when he was in Sea Lions. That was really, really cool. Yeah. And Soul Hex played there. They're also a local Oxnard band, like El Rio.
Okay. Okay. They're there.
They're there.
They're right on the border, but they're definitely there. Let's go back to your band's name. Where did Moonily come from? Am I saying it right?
Moonily.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Just want to make sure. Who came up with that, and what does that mean to you?
Maisa.
Me. So I had a dog. Her name was Lily.
Okay. I had a dog named Lily.
Really?
What kind of dog? What kind of dog was
Lily,
it?
really. She was a rat terrier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so people would call her ugly. I'm like, no, she's not. She was the sweetest girl in the whole entire world. But I was trying to make a bracelet with her name Lily, but I didn't have an L, so I just did Illy, like I love you. I'm like, oh yeah, just
Oh my God,
do that.
That's so cute.
And then
You haven't heard this story?
No.
and then so
You didn't know this?
I didn't know the beginning. I know the ending part of this, but I don't remember the
Well, the
beginning.
ending is Moonily.
Yeah. And then my Instagram name, Illy, really. Like, I love you, really, came about. And then one night I just couldn't sleep, and there was a full moon outside, so I was just sitting outside, and I was just writing these names down, and I was doing, like, Lily Moon or, like, Moon Lily, and, like, I don't know. And then I took out the L because of the bracelet, and I did Moon Illy, and I looked it up, and it meant in a dreamy manner. Oh, that's so perfect.
So there is such a word.
Yes.
It does mean that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you just kind of ran into it
Yeah.
just by accident.
Mm-hmm.
And how did the rest of the band feel about that?
Nobody ever wanted me to change it. They're like, no, keep it forever. I'm like, okay.
So many people call us Moonlily though, and we're like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, let me talk to you about your drums.
Yeah.
Playing drums on that. Just anybody that plays the drums. I mean, who do you look up to on that?
Oh, snap. Okay. I am in love with Dave Grohl. I think that he's amazing. Growing up, all my drum teachers said I need to play like the Nirvana drummer and hit as hard as I can, smash my cymbals till they break type of situation.
Have you?
I have. It's hard to break a cymbal, but it has happened before.
Wrecked it.
Definitely, I definitely break sticks, but
Wow.
definitely.
With every show that you play.
Every single one.
I
You
mean,
should try to make that a goal now.
no. Yeah. So Dave Grohl, the Police drummer, I'm spacing on his name, was such a huge
You're
impact.
a Stuart Copeland fan?
Yeah.
Oh my
Stuart
God.
Copeland,
You're
yeah.
hitting on all of these bands and
Yeah.
musicians that I love.
Aw,
Huge. I
yay.
mean, that guy, by just watching him, I wanted to become
Isn't
a drummer.
that crazy? He's
Yeah.
so rad. This is kind of a weird one for me because I'm not a huge U2 fan,
Hmm.
but I love the drummer. The way he plays, super rad. Yeah.
So then how often do you practice? Do you just practice at...
When I lived in a house, I had my drum set up 24/7, and I played every day. Growing up, I played every day.
Self-taught, or did you take lessons somewhere?
I took lessons from about like 9 to 16, and then got over it, and then started just doing self stuff.
Where did you take lessons at?
I had the drummer from the Doobie Brothers. He was my mentor growing up, and then after that went to Guitar Center just to get some different, teaching in. But yeah, the Doobie Brother drummer was my teacher. His name's Chet McCracken. He's so sick. I just was always locked in my room doing that, so love it.
And driving everybody crazy because you're playing the drums.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, but it was fun. I always had support, so.
Awesome. So then what about you? Can you tell me about
Well,
the instrument that you play, and how did you get
Yeah.
into that?
well, I actually started playing bass when Marissa asked me to play bass in her band, Moonily. I played guitar before. When I was 16, I took lessons for a year, I think, and then just kind of went on my own. But I started playing bass when Marissa asked me, and I fell in love. I love bass.
yeah.
I kind of like it more than guitar sometimes. But
So self-taught for the most part,
yeah,
with
yeah,
some lessons.
definitely.
Yeah.
Lessons for guitar.
Yeah.
But like playing guitar and going to bass is like much easier than I think going from bass to guitar.
Do you find it easy to play the bass?
Yeah.
Better than easier than
I
guitar?
think I kind of
Good.
play it like a guitar sometimes. I don't know how actual bass is like that, but it's cool.
What about you, Marissa, on the guitar?
My grandpa. He's who I looked up to. Yeah. He was
You play
in a-
guitar?
Yeah, he was in a mariachi band. He almost became known, but he chose family over fame, which is so sweet.
So he had an opportunity to go and
Mhm.
travel and become a big musician,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he turned it down.
For family.
That's rare.
Just so cute.
So did he teach you? Did he, or
I-
was you just inspired by him?
I was very inspired by him. He would always call and sing happy birthday to me and my sisters, either on guitar or piano. So cute. And then my aunt gave me his old guitar. And then my brother-in-law actually taught me. Like, he gave me some little chords to try out and some notes and sheets. So I just went off of that. and then taught myself after.
So all acoustic guitar.
Acoustic,
Yeah.
and then I finally got an electric when I was 16, I think, something like that.
And just took it from there. You just kept
yeah,
playing.
I'm like, I love electric. I'm never going back.
So was there anybody else in your family that was
No.
wanting to be a musician or in a rock band of any kind?
No. I got into Nirvana and like Alison Chains. No Doubt was definitely one of the greatest inspirations. But I never would have thought I'd sing. I thought
Yeah.
I'd be like doing drums or guitar.
Did you take singing lessons or?
No. That's why I do a bunch of oohs and ahs.
How did that come about though with the kind of music that you were inspired by or that you started listening? I mean, who introduced you to all of those bands? Or just that was just on your own?
It was my aunt. Yeah. My aunt and my mom, my dad, everybody. Like, they knew really cool music. My older sister, she'd have CDs, and I'd kind of take them. Like, oh, that looks cool. It was a Radiohead album, the In Rainbows, I think.
Where were your grandparents from?
I know my grandma was from Guadalajara. I think my grandpa was from Spain, from what I remember.
Oh. So have you ever played in a mariachi band or ever
No,
wanted
but
to?
I almost signed up for flamenco dancing in high school. But that's not a mariachi. But I just loved it.
But it's not rock. So
It's
anything.
not rock.
Yeah.
But I loved it.
Talk a little bit more about just about everybody here as a band. Do you kind of aspire to getting to a point where you want to be this successful, super popular band, or are you looking at just kind of keeping it very low key and kind of indie?
I think we're like hungry for some success, but we're
Not
not
like Beyonce.
we're
or-
not we're not craving
Can't be
the
Beyonce.
all that attention.
You can try to be Beyonce.
Yeah.
So okay, so then keeping it
Radiohead,
a little bit of
basically.
both, maybe.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
We just want to.
We want to
Travel
stay
the world.
true to our sound.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't want any like big time people trying to change our sound.
Yeah, we
to
don't
get
want
us
to be who
bigger.
we aren't.
So
Yeah.
when you promote yourself, who does all of that? So does everyone kind of take a shot at that as far as like
Yeah.
any of the merch that you make or any of the stuff that you post online? Does everyone equally do that, or does somebody
Yeah.
take charge of that?
Yeah, I think
It's all
so.
of
Kind of
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Marissa makes a lot of the flyers for the shows that we play.
Safaa's sister does a lot of our artwork.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She does
for
all
the
of
merch.
the artwork.
Yeah,
Shirts
she's super
and-
cool.
So you
Keep it
definitely
in
know
the
people
family.
that do all of that and
Yeah.
everyone's helping each other out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the guy who makes our shirts is from Oxnard, actually.
Yeah.
Her friend
Kyle. He was the bassist in Sea Lions from Oxnard. He's helped us with the merch so much. He's
Yeah.
so cool. He has like a visual. He knows what color we want, and it's like perfect. Yeah, he's awesome.
Do you guys remember your first show that you played?
Yes.
What was- okay,
gosh.
just give me the story on that.
Okay,
What?
I'm
How did that?
freaking
It's
out.
almost
They're all-
been
yeah, it's-
a year.
Is at the saloon.
You know?
It was so
Where's that at?
intense. Ventura.
Okay.
downtown, yeah.
And every time we go in there, we're like, it was here. We played here.
What was that?
Packed
Tell me what that
show.
was like.
It was so packed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it was my first show with them. You know, they've played multiple shows without me, and it was like kind of introducing the new drummer type sitch, and so I was freaking out, and I was like, I gotta impress all these people. Never been to Ventura before. So yeah, it got packed, and it was so much fun, and we played like 45 minutes or something.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
we were bouncing off each other, like jumping around, hitting each other. It was so much fun.
So you definitely have a lot of songs if you played a 45
Yeah.
45-minute
Mhm.
set.
Yeah, we have a good amount.
We could
Yeah.
drag
Our
them out
songs are
too.
long. Our
Yeah.
songs
Or
are
you
like
play them again.
5 to 10.
yeah.
Our Bitchcraft, my other band at the time, we played that show too, opening it. It was her first show as a drummer in that show.
It's fun.
It was both of our first shows
Yeah.
in different bands.
Yeah. So
That's
it was
cool.
me as a drummer in
That's cool.
Bitchcraft.
Yeah.
So you played both with the other band that night and then jumped into
Yeah.
yeah.
Both
Same
did
with
the other.
Marissa, yeah.
The one band and then the other band.
what was the reaction like from the audience there, from the people there?
From me being the new drummer.
Yeah.
I loved her.
Yeah, I got a lot of high fives. Yeah, people were stoked. It was super
Friend
fun.
requests,
Yeah.
follows.
Mhm.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it was super fun.
That's excellent. That's excellent.
Almost our 1-year anniversary with me.
Yay.
February 1st.
So you'll celebrate.
We're gonna celebrate.
You're gonna celebrate for that one.
At the saloon.
You have a lot of music, obviously. You recorded one song that you have on there, but hopefully we'll see a lot more newer stuff coming up.
Yeah.
What is it like for bands that are recording and playing? Do you still make CDs? Do you still sell them, or are you just uploading everything online?
Depends what type of band you are. Some people like to sell them with their merch, like little tapes.
Yeah.
and-
I think if we're going to be
Records.
doing a tour, we'll probably make CDs. We want to do records for
Yeah.
sure. Like a limited amount, of course.
People do cassettes too now.
Is all
That'd
that
be
stuff just really expensive?
Yeah.
It can
Yeah.
be,
I think so.
A lot of people buy used cassettes and then record on top of the cassettes.
Oh,
and
really?
Yeah.
And then just throw a new
Mhm.
label on there, or
Yeah.
yeah,
Cool.
It's really cool. That's the cheap way to do
that's a
it.
cheap way to do
Yeah.
it. And do you have equipment at home that you do that, or do you
It's
work with other people that have that
Yeah.
stuff?
that was in another band that I was in. They could just do it. They had all the equipment.
We should hit them up.
I know, right?
So then we'll see if a new album or your first one
Yeah.
sometime later this year.
Oh, yeah.
So soon.
Yeah. Hopefully
Yeah.
sooner rather than later. Maybe.
Yep. And some music videos.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You know what? Oh, well, now that you mentioned the music videos, so there's one. You have how many do you have? Because I saw one.
Oh,
Yeah,
Maybe
we
I
have
missed.
one.
We
Okay.
have one.
And it's an interesting concept with that video.
oh, yeah.
So
Why? What is it?
is that?
Oh,
There was. Oh, let me see if I can remember it correctly. So there's the band's playing, but it actually starts off with like kind of like a stalker, right?
Yeah.
And somebody is
Mhm.
following you or following the band. I think right after a rehearsal, and then
Yeah.
the band plays, and then at the end there's like I guess somebody comes and just stabs everybody,
Yeah.
stabs the entire band.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, you see who it was.
hmm
Who
Who was
came,
it?
Yeah, who was it?
I don't know.
Who came up with that?
I think we all
Yeah.
did. We didn't have the ending concept until like 2 days before we finished the video. We just wanted to do like compilation of our live shows, and then it turned into like, oh well, these kind of look like a stalker.
I think is there like a warning at the end or something? I can't try to remember
the,
when I
the
saw
book.
it.
Was that's in the beginning and the end?
No, but I think
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
it say somewhere at the beginning like, oh, the band does not condone violence or
I
something? Did
think
somebody write it, or did I
so.
just see that? I can't
It
remember
probably
if I.
says that. I just
Should've
can't
said
remember.
It doesn't. Then
remember.
And that's be meant
We're
to
gonna
put
add
that
that.
in there.
But yeah.
But it's like this. The stalker has this book, right?
Yeah.
With the names of all these bands that I think you just mentioned. So or
Low Haze.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
and each one is being kind of crossed out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're gonna get killed
Low
by
Haze
the
is
land
not.
mermaid. So it's about the mermaid, because
Yeah.
mermaids are kind of are scary creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful, scary
Mysterious.
Yeah. So they
Scary, but
Who are
also
they?
kind of like killer
killers.
mermaids.
Yep.
Killer
Mhm.
mermaids. Yeah.
Killer mermaids.
Yeah.
Killer land mermaids.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
I've never heard of a killer mermaid. But, okay, but that's good to know. And I watched that a couple of times. I just want to make sure I followed it, make sure that
Yeah.
I
I
was
gotta watch it
And it
again.
may or may not have been me.
okay. So that was you. Because there's that reflection in the mirror right at the
Yeah.
end. After there's the cleaning of the knife
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
the blood and everything, and then
Mhm, the
and then
cops
there's
are-
that quick shot, and I wasn't sure who that was.
It was me with my extensions in.
Oh,
Okay.
But don't tell anyone.
She currently
It's-
has them in.
It's a secret.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that's what you have on right now?
Yeah, it's I'm a hairdresser, so
Oh,
she's
okay.
a mermaid.
No
Yeah,
big
fun.
deal.
yeah, it's like not a big
She's a
deal.
mermaid.
Okay, so you're a hairdresser. So tell me about your day jobs. What do you do?
Yeah, I do hair in North Hollywood. It's super crazy.
Crazy.
What do you do?
I do coffee. I'm a barista.
Barista.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And
I do audiobooks. Yeah.
where do you do that at?
I work from home, so I just edit them. But the company I work for, they kind of do everything. They cast the narrators, they record it. We do pre-production, post-production, mastering, everything. So cool.
Busy gal.
So you do all of that. Everyone does that all in the day, and then at night,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's all band
stars.
stuff. What's the worst thing about being in a band? What is it that you just?
Bringing a
Can't
PA
stand.
to a show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we never want to do that again.
As a drummer, just lugging all my stuff around is it's pretty hard on my body, but yeah.
Do you have anybody that
She's
helps?
strong.
These two don't help me.
Oh, sure.
Not at all.
No, I don't ask for the help because they
We
already-
offer it, but
they-
she says no.
Because we just do it.
You have the most equipment. And no
I
one else is
know.
helping you.
Well, I know, but like they're carrying some stuff too, but like obviously mine's heavier. I'm just kidding.
We try to play shows with backline drum sets.
Yeah,
sometimes
definitely.
it's hard too.
Yeah.
So just
Because she
bringing
hits
bringing
so
your own
hard.
gear is the worst thing.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
just-
say there's anything.
Nobody
worse
wants to
than
bring
that.
their own
Or
stuff.
playing on like someone else's drum set's kind of hard too sometimes.
Because
like,
she hits hard.
yeah.
Because you break them.
Yeah.
No, just because it feels a little awkward, but
Yeah.
you know.
Do bands like that? I mean, it's, everyone kind of sharing a drum kit or sharing other instruments, or no?
It's faster, like
It is faster.
for everyone to just get through their set, no hassles.
The higher up you go in the totem pole, though, people
Yeah.
don't like to play. People won't let you play their set, so you have to bring your own.
Because I've heard that from drummers.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, I don't want somebody else because
yeah,
they hit it too
exactly.
hard.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like you probably will.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how
Break
it goes.
their sticks.
And break their cymbals.
And then
And
I'm
then
not
they'll
that.
throw
I'm
you
not
out.
that hard yet.
Now that you mentioned that, I got to start watching you play to see how hard you're really hitting that.
I'm hitting pretty hard.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
She scared us
So cool.
at practice the other night.
We lost hearing.
Stop.
We lost hearing
Yeah.
once.
Really?
Wait, what did you say?
Wait,
Can't
you
hear
lost
my hearing.
We lost hearing once.
you lost hearing from your playing.
I mean,
One
I
show
tell
was
them to wear
crazy.
earplugs, so I don't know.
my god. But then I can't
You
hear
should
me.
bring us earplugs.
It's so hard to play with earplugs. That's another hard thing is trying
yeah.
to figure out how to protect your ears.
I've heard that there's a lot of
Yeah.
musicians that have gone through that where it's just
Yeah,
yeah
totally have tendinitis, whatever it is.
whatever that yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, do you notice that since you play as loud as you do? Do you does it?
I try to wear earplugs, but
Yeah.
it's so hard. But no, when I go to sleep at night, my ears are ringing.
They're still ringing?
Crazy. Yeah.
Same thing with both of you?
No.
Yeah.
No?
She's used to like the Oxnard house shows, metal bands.
Hardcore.
Yeah.
Her ears are already blown out. Just kidding.
You know,
Not
mention
that bad.
talking about metal. There was one performance that was online. I don't know, I forgot what it was, or maybe it was just a quick video. But you're wearing a shirt of
Yeah.
this one like super
Yeah, totally. I know what you're talking about.
yeah, right. And I had to look that band up because I wanted to
Was
know a
it
little bit
Iron
more.
Lung?
It's Mars's shirt.
Is it Marge? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right. It was Iron Lung, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was Iron Lung. I was wearing
Yeah.
it, but it's her shirt.
They like to borrow my shirts because they're cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're really
And I did look them up. I had to look up Iron Lung and listen to
Yeah.
them. And I was like, wow, completely different
They're
from
crazy,
the music
yeah.
that you play. So
Yeah.
you obviously listen to a lot of different kinds of music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were playing. We played a show at the Smell, and then
Oh.
we found out. We walked down the street, and Iron Lung was playing.
Yeah.
It was
they're playing
crazy.
the show at
Yeah.
the bar next door.
It
We're
was
like,
the
"What?
craziest
Yeah,
show
let's
I've ever
go."
seen. It was so sweaty.
And that drummer is definitely hitting
Oh my
the
gosh.
drums.
Yeah.
And I think he's singing too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's singing and
Yeah.
drumming,
I-
and it's
yeah.
So
gnarly.
cool.
There's a crazy video of him I've never seen that band ever before. And
So
I mean, this
crazy.
guy is, the songs are
Going
probably like a
for it.
minute and a half, but I mean, he's just really going at it.
Oh
So.
yeah, so rad.
One day, Alison.
I don't know about that.
Do you think you can play in a band like that? Like just, I mean, obviously you already
Blast
are hitting it
beats.
pretty hard. So
I mean, I definitely wouldn't mind trying, but I don't know. I'd be scared of myself if I could do that.
Stamina, though.
Yeah, it's stamina. I die out pretty easy.
you can't keep it up like that for
No.
a long amount of
So
time.
we'll play like one of our hard songs, and they'll look at me, and I'm like, can't do it.
Oh,
Let's play awake.
Yeah. What does when you listen? Do you listen to your own music? I mean,
all
aside
the
from
time.
rehearsal, do
Yeah.
you like when you're driving around? Do you ever listen? Yeah.
No.
No.
Sometimes it's just like
Stop
all
it.
I listen.
Because I know
to.
there's a lot of bands that.
Oh,
I mean,
sorry.
aside from the fact that you're rehearsing and getting ready for a show, but I mean, do you listen to it and just kind of see what you've done and what you need to improve on or anything like that?
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of tell me.
Yeah, Marissa.
The
Yeah.
solos. I do the solos different, like, almost all the time.
Every s-
And then recording this year, I'm like, oh, shoot, I gotta nail it.
Marissa.
Yeah.
Sound like this.
Yeah. We're very creative on stage, so we like
Yeah.
we'll play whatever we want to play. Kind of. It's kind of bad, but like
Yeah.
it's close to the song, and then we kind of drift off, and we're like, let's just smash it.
And then so anytime you meet or you rehearse, you kind of go over that, like what
Yeah.
Yeah.
what needs improvement and
Mhm.
yeah. And then when you listen to a song, I mean, how does music just really affect you? Do you are you listening to the lyrics closely, or are you just kind of feeling the music, or like what is it that you love about just playing in a band?
I think the feeling first,
Yeah.
and then comes
Mm.
like the lyrics and the
Yeah.
meaning, and
With Moonily, you
Yeah.
can just like close your eyes and you just, I don't know, you go somewhere.
Instant high.
Yeah.
It's the coolest feeling when you're in sync and when you're playing with a band and you like are in sync with the band. I think everyone kind of just zones out
We
and
get
it just
so lost.
yeah, you get lost. The coolest feeling ever.
It happened to us at practice the other day, and we were all going, jamming, and then we're like, oh shoot, that was the transition
Forgot
part.
to change. Yeah.
So you forgot it.
Yeah.
Does it become emotional for you, like when you're listening to music? Or when you're
Totally.
playing
Oh.
it? I mean, obviously
Yeah.
when you're listening to it, but when you're playing it, or are
Yeah.
you really so focused on the fact that you need to hit certain parts of the song? Or
I think newer songs we're focused on trying to
Yeah.
get the right thing.
Yeah.
But like with our older songs,
The
we
song Bliss is the most
Oh
my God.
emotional for me. I cry, or no, I don't cry. I get like a little choked up and teary-eyed after that song every single time.
what is it
It's
about?
such a good song.
Ugh.
no.
You don't want to say what it is.
I'll say it's about me coming out and feeling comfortable about it and not caring. And it's like, this is who I am.
So
Yeah.
when you wrote it, was it very emotional for you?
Oh yeah, I was like crying.
Do you
But
ever,
it's so
when,
powerful.
when you're singing it live? I mean, do you feel like you have to hold back and not let it become that emotional, or
Oh
you?
yeah, yeah. Even like when I practice it by myself, sometimes I'm like, I would
Aw.
cry.
And
Yeah.
you feel that coming on sometimes when you're on stage and playing it.
Yeah, it's emotional after all these years. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's like all of our favorite songs.
Yeah.
It's a good
And it's a build up too.
Mhm.
Like that's why I think she gets emotional because it's it's like so powerful at the end. Kind of like freaks you out a little bit.
Do you put that kind of emotion into a lot of the songs that you write?
I try
Are
to.
they that personal?
Some of them are. Some of them are like the song "Dunno."
Yes, the one that you had that I
Mhm.
Yeah.
that you have as a demo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one, I kind of just recorded it in just one take. Like the one online on SoundCloud, that's just one recording, the only recording. And I'm just kind of rambling on it, like a Soko feeling. You know, the singer-songwriter Soko?
hmm No, tell me.
She's French.
And
She's really cool. Yeah. She just like rambles on in her songs, but like, yeah, I just,
Like a story.
yeah, I just felt that and
Yeah.
went with it, and it was just going. That one was cool. I like that one. That one made me feel like
Mm-hmm.
the same kind of emotional way.
Have you written a song that you think this is maybe something that I don't want to release or sing or anything like that, or maybe it's too strong or too emotional for you?
I have a couple that they don't even know of yet.
Say what?
I know. It's just
So
much.
many in there.
Yeah.
That you might release later, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe we'll mix it up or something. Make
Yeah.
it heavy, so it's not like that sad.
A lot of her songs are poetry first, so there's always a feeling to it. I
Mhm.
think.
Yeah.
So all of these come from a very personal place then.
Yeah.
And does it scare you when you kind of reach down and, write about some of these things, or is it comfortable for you to be able to do that?
It's comfortable. It's like just letting it out and not bottling it in and just letting it eat me alive or whatever. Yeah, and I know there's a lot of people out there that I'm sure are feeling the same way or going through the same thing. So
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah.
It's you're okay with that, just kind of
Yeah.
letting that out and letting other people experience that.
Yeah.
That's hard to do. I don't know how you do
Thanks, Izzy.
it. Shout out to these.
Are there a lot of other all-female bands that you play with?
In LA, there's more female fronted.
Yeah, like Egg Drop Soup, who we're gonna bring out.
Yeah.
Um,
Cool.
2 female bass guitar, male drummer. Super rock and roll.
Super cool.
Punk.
Yeah.
Super rock and
Yeah.
roll punk.
Is that an important part of this band, knowing that it's an all-female band, or is that not really even sort of the way
It's-
that you're promoting it?
I think the
and-
music is what's more important.
Yeah.
So you don't. I mean, if somebody calls you, it's an all-girl band. Is that offensive?
Kind of. We're just a band.
You're just a band.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I sometimes brush it off. Like if it's someone that we like randomly met, I don't know, somewhere, and they're like, "Oh, you're an all-girl band." We're like, Yeah, I guess we are.
Do you find that with other bands that are all girl bands or all female
Yeah.
bands?
Well,
Totally.
I don't think anyone really points it out. Like other bands don't.
Yeah.
We kind of just, we don't really say that we're an all female or whatever. I don't know. I mean, you don't say like, oh, that's an all guy band playing with us. And
No, that's true.
yeah.
dudes.
All dudes
All dude. Bro band
or bro
Bro
band.
band. Or-
Yeah.
boy band.
Well, thank you so much
Yeah,
Thank
for
you.
doing this. I've learned so much about you, and hopefully everybody else will as well. And definitely looking forward to your next show and
Yeah.
and everything else that you're going to be doing. So good luck with everything.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Thanks so
Thank you.
much.
Bye, thanks.
You.
Thanks to all the members of Moonily for that interview. Can't wait to hear their first album. And then they're going to tour, so that's super, super exciting stuff. I want to thank the Oxnard Pack for letting me use their space to record these interviews. I also want to thank you for listening to us. We have a ton more shows for you on the way. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Looking for Oxnard for all the latest and greatest. We're done for now. Get out of here and go do some good stuff. We'll talk to each other soon.